Welcome to Haunted by Horror, where every season is horror movie season, and today I'm going to be talking about 3 trailers that have recently come out. The first one is The Black Phone 2, the second one is the new Alien Earth TV series, and the third one is actually Wicked for Good, a movie that I did review last year. So I wanted to talk about The Black Phone 2 first. This movie came out in, I believe, 2022, and it was a blast. It was extremely unsettling, extremely creepy, and if I was a parent, I would have been even more scared for my children at that point, because the way they edited some of the children being kidnapped with the van simply driving up to them and it fades to black, brilliant. Brilliant. That's all I needed. But Ethan Hawke was amazing in the movie, first of all, and some of the gore that was in it was extremely effective. And even though it wasn't like the scariest thing I've ever seen, it was definitely unsettling and creepy as fuck. And the ending with the grabber, spoilers at this point, the ending with the grabber and hearing all the kids say different lines that they said to the kid before he snaps his neck, like, that shit was awesome to me. And so when they announced the sequel, of course, me like everybody else was just like, wait, what are you going to do? You just killed the grabber. And then a report came out that they might be doing some Freddy Krueger-esque type film. And then the trailer came out. And oh my god, this trailer was more unsettling than the entire first movie. At least for me personally, I'm not even joking. But hands down, one of my favorite things about the trailer is after all this confusion about what they're going to do, in the trailer he says, kid, you should know better than anyone. Dead is just a word. That's perfect. It's the only explanation we need. If the kids could come back as ghosts in the first movie, then he could come back as a ghost as well. Perfect. But the reason it's so effective is A Nightmare on Elm Street is one of my favorite horror films of all time, and I've been waiting for so long to get a new one because I wasn't able to see the 2010 version in theaters. So I've been waiting for so long. So if this is the closest that we're going to get to a Freddy Krueger movie, at least for now, I am down. And the director just came out and said this one's supposed to be more violent and more gory than the last one. The last one had a gore scene in it, but that was really about it. It wasn't the goriest movie ever. So the fact that they're saying that about this movie and the image of him ripping his jaw off underneath that mask, like, I don't know, just something about the trailer was more unsettling than the entire first movie, and that's awesome to me. The second trailer I wanted to quickly touch on was the Alien Earth trailer, because I don't really know too much about what's going on in this series. Obviously, the trailer does tell you a little bit of the plot and what's going on. We're going to meet some new species, not just a xenomorph on Earth. But the Alien franchise I only recently got into. I watched Alien literally during the pandemic. Literally during the pandemic for the first time. And the only ones that I have not seen are both Alien vs. Predator movies, Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection. Those are the only ones I've not seen. I saw Alien Romulus, which I also reviewed last year. But basically, it's going to be interesting to see how this story goes because it's supposed to take place 2 years before the original. A xenomorph appears on Earth, and one of the characters in the beginning of Alien basically says that the species of xenomorph is one that's not been seen anywhere. So it's like, did they get rid of all the evidence in the end? It's like, who knows? So I'm very curious about that, but I just wanted to touch on it for a little bit because I was very curious to see footage for the first time, and it felt like it took forever, but it's finally here, and I'm definitely intrigued. And I think it's going to push me to watch the other movies. Like Alien 3, after I watched Aliens for the first time only a few years ago, I talk about that in my review for that movie as well. I just couldn't do Alien 3 right after Aliens. Aliens was so good, and the ending was so perfect, that knowing how Alien 3 started, I just couldn't do it. Just could not do it. But I think the series will push me to finally watch it, but I'm definitely not watching Aliens first. And the next one I wanted to touch on was Wicked for Good. Now, as I said, I did review the original when it came out. Please consider checking out that video as well. I'll try to put a link in the description. But I really enjoyed it. You know, I wasn't sure how it was going to go. I'm a pretty big fan of The Wizard of Oz. A friend of mine spent hours in a bar, literally in a bar, talking about Wizard of Oz stuff. And I was wondering, when are they going to make a Wicked live action? I've never read the book, but I've seen the play. Not a Broadway play, but a play of it. And I loved the fact that it merged in with the Wizard of Oz story, which makes sense since the Wicked Witch of the West, spoilers, dies at the end of that film. That makes sense that it would bleed into that movie. But I really liked how they explained the characters in that movie. Instead of it just being like a version of Dorothy's family, basically, I think that this looks like it's going to be cool. So I don't know who's playing Dorothy. I don't know if anyone knows. But it showed the Cowardly Lion in the trailer, which I liked because he is in the first part as well. So I really did like the trailer. I just don't really know how they're going to tell the rest of the story. But I'm extremely intrigued, and that's it for this trailer. But these trailers have come out in the last 3 days, and I just felt like I should just talk about all 3 in one video. I don't really do many reaction videos. I'll try to do more in the future, but I really wanted to talk about these 3 trailers. The Black Phone 2, even more excited than I already was. Most doubts are just, is it going to be good or is it not? Pretty typical. Alien Earth, I don't really watch TV series that often, but if it's part of a franchise like this, I'll definitely tap into it. And Wicked for Good, I just hope they tell the rest of the story in a very compelling way. Well, that's it for this one, guys. That's all I got for this video. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. I'm Kyle Bedian, and this is Haunted by Horror, where every season is horror movie season. Agent